Stressed about job interviews in English? You're not alone. Learning to communicate confidently is your key to success.
In this masterclass, we'll practice real-life dialogues across 10 professions, from nursing to tech to hospitality. Learn phrases, tone, and cultural tips. Each lesson gives you interactive dialogues, pronunciation guides, and professional strategies to impress employers. Ready to ace your next interview? Let's begin.
Only on English Candle 2 channel.
Tell me a bit about yourself.
I'm Maria. I've written for my college paper for 3 years, focusing on local events. I'm curious and love finding stories.
Why do you want to be a journalist?
I believe sharing true stories is important. I want to inform people and give them a voice.
How do you check if information is correct?
I talk to multiple sources, check official documents, and compare facts from different places.
Describe a time you worked under pressure to meet a deadline.
Last month, I covered a sudden protest. I interviewed people quickly, checked facts carefully, and filed my story just on time.
What are your strengths for this role?
I'm a strong writer, I learn quickly, and I'm very persistent when researching a story.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I hope to be a skilled reporter here, covering important local issues and maybe mentoring new writers.
Do you have any questions for us?
Yes. What's the biggest challenge facing your local news team right now?
Can you introduce yourself and your experience?
I'm Sarah. I'm a qualified nurse with 2 years of experience in a busy hospital ward, caring for patients after surgery.
Why did you choose nursing as a career?
I want to help people when they are most vulnerable. Making a difference in someone's recovery is very rewarding.
How do you handle a stressful situation, like multiple patients needing help at once?
I stay calm, prioritize the most urgent needs, ask colleagues for help if possible, and focus on one task at a time.
How important is teamwork on a hospital ward?
It's essential. Nurses, doctors, and support staff must communicate clearly and support each other to give the best patient care.
Tell me about a time you showed compassion to a patient.
A patient was very scared before surgery. I took extra time to explain the procedure simply and held their hand for reassurance.
What are your weaknesses?
Sometimes I care too much. I'm learning to manage my own stress better after difficult shifts.
Do you have any questions for us?
Yes. What kind of training do you offer new nurses joining your team?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm Chloe. I've worked in retail for 1 year, helping customers find clothes and accessories. I enjoy interacting with people.
Why do you want to work in sales?
I love helping customers find exactly what they need and making their shopping experience positive.
How would you handle a customer who is unhappy with a product?
I listen carefully to their concern, apologize sincerely, and offer solutions like a refund, exchange, or speaking to a manager.
How do you stay motivated during quiet times in the store?
I tidy shelves, restock items, learn about new products, or ask my supervisor if there are other tasks I can do.
Describe a time you successfully sold a product.
A customer was unsure about a jacket. I suggested items to match it and highlighted its features. They bought the jacket and a matching scarf.
What hours are you available to work?
I'm very flexible. I can work weekdays, weekends, and evenings.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, what do you enjoy most about working here?
Tell us about your culinary background.
I'm Barbara. I trained at culinary school and have 3 years of experience as a line cook in a popular Italian restaurant.
What's your favorite type of cuisine to cook?
I enjoy Italian cuisine, focusing on fresh pasta and simple, high-quality ingredients.
How do you ensure consistency in dishes during a busy service?
Mise en place is key. Having everything prepped perfectly and following recipes precisely, even when it's hectic.
How do you handle a mistake in the kitchen, like overcooking an order?
I stay calm, inform the head chef immediately, restart the dish correctly as fast as possible, and learn from the mistake.
How important is cleanliness in your kitchen routine?
It's the top priority. I follow strict hygiene rules, clean as I go, and ensure my station is spotless at the end of every shift.
Can you describe a new dish you created?
I developed a seasonal ravioli with butternut squash and sage brown butter. That became a special.
Do you have any questions for the head chef?
Yes. What is the team structure like in this kitchen?
Walk me through your experience with programming.
I'm Anya. I have 2 years of experience mainly with Java and Python. I've built several web applications and contributed to open source projects.
Why are you interested in this specific developer role?
I'm excited by your company's work in AI and think my skills in Python would be a great fit for your team's projects.
Describe your approach to solving a difficult coding problem.
I break it down into smaller steps, research possible solutions online, try different approaches, and ask colleagues for input if I'm stuck.
How do you handle feedback on your code during a review?
I see it as a learning opportunity. I listen carefully, ask questions if I don't understand, and make the necessary improvements.
Tell me about a project you're particularly proud of.
I built a task management app from scratch. It taught me a lot about database design and user interface challenges.
How do you keep your technical skills up to date?
I take online courses, read tech blogs, and practice coding regularly on platforms like LeetCode.
Do you have any questions about the role?
Yes. What is the typical development workflow like for your team?
And tell me about your teaching experience.
I'm Jane. I'm certified and taught 3rd grade for 4 years. I focus on creating a positive and engaging learning environment.
What is your teaching philosophy?
I believe every child can learn and succeed. My job is to find the best way to help each student reach their potential.
How do you manage classroom behavior effectively?
I set clear rules from day one, use positive reinforcement, build strong relationships, and address issues calmly and consistently.
how do you involve parents in their child's education?
I communicate regularly through emails, newsletters, and parent-teacher conferences. I welcome their input and partnership.
Describe a successful lesson you taught recently.
My lesson on fractions using pizza slices really helped the students visualize the concept. They were engaged and scored well on the quiz.
How do you differentiate instruction for students with different needs?
I use varied activities, flexible grouping, and provide different levels of support or challenge based on individual student needs.
Do you have any questions for us?
Yes. What support does the school offer for teachers' professional development?
Tell me about your previous customer service roles.
I'm Georgina. I worked at a spa for 2 years as a front desk associate, handling bookings, payments, and guest inquiries.
Why do you want to work in hospitality?
I enjoy creating a welcoming first impression and helping guests have a comfortable and enjoyable stay.
How would you handle a guest complaining about a noisy room at 2 a.m.?
I'd apologize sincerely for the inconvenience, offer to move them to the quietest available room immediately, and perhaps offer a small amenity for the trouble.
How important is attention to detail in this role?
It's crucial. Getting reservation details, billing, and room assignments right prevents problems and ensures guest satisfaction.
What computer systems are you familiar with?
I'm proficient with common booking systems like Opera and Microsoft Office, especially Outlook and Excel.
How do you stay calm during a very busy check-in period?
I focus on one guest at a time, smile, communicate clearly about any wait, and ask colleagues for support if needed.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, what's the team culture like among the front desk staff here?
Can you show us your portfolio and talk us through a favorite project?
Of course, here's my portfolio. I particularly like this branding project for a cafe. I developed their logo, menu design, and packaging, aiming for a warm, rustic feel.
Which design software are you most proficient in?
I'm strongest in Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, and InDesign. I also have experience with Figma.
How do you handle feedback or criticism on your designs from a client?
I see it as part of the process. I listen to understand their perspective, explain my choices if needed, and work collaboratively to refine the design.
Describe your design process from receiving a brief to final delivery.
I start by understanding the client's goals and audience, then research, sketch ideas, develop concepts digitally, get feedback, and refine to the final version.
How do you stay inspired and keep up with design trends?
I follow design blogs and magazines, attend online webinars, and experiment with personal projects outside of work.
Tell me about a time you had a tight deadline. How did you manage?
For a last-minute poster, I prioritized the key elements, focused efficiently, and communicated clearly with the client about progress.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, what are the primary types of projects this role would focus on?
Tell me about your accounting experience and qualifications.
I'm Sarah. I'm a CPA with 5 years of experience in corporate accounting. I handled accounts payable, receivable, and month-end closing for my last employer.
Why are you interested in this accounting position?
I'm looking for a role with more responsibility in financial reporting, and your company's size and industry appeal to me.
How proficient are you with accounting software?
I'm highly proficient with QuickBooks and SAP. I've also used Oracle Financials and Advanced Excel extensively.
Describe your experience with preparing financial statements.
I have prepared monthly, quarterly, and annual P&L statements, balance sheets, and cash flow statements, ensuring GAAP compliance.
How do you ensure accuracy in your work?
I double-check entries, reconcile accounts regularly, use software tools effectively, and pay close attention to detail.
How do you handle confidential financial information?
I understand its sensitivity completely. I follow company protocols strictly, use secure systems, and only discuss it with authorized personnel.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, could you describe the accounting team structure?
Tell me about your experience leading groups.
I'm Sally. I've led historical walking tours in the city center for 2 summers for groups of up to 25 people.
What makes a great tour guide in your opinion?
Enthusiasm for the subject, clear communication, storytelling skills, patience, and the ability to engage different people.
How would you handle a guest who keeps wandering off or asking unrelated questions during the tour?
I'd politely but firmly remind the group to stay together for safety and information. For off-topic questions, I'd briefly answer if possible, but steer back to the tour focus.
How do you prepare for a new tour?
I research the topic deeply, plan the route and key stops, practice my timing, and prepare interesting stories or facts.
What's your favorite landmark or story to share on your tours?
I love telling the story of the old clock tower and the famous artist who lived next door. It always captivates people.
How do you adapt your tour for different audiences, like families versus seniors?
For families, I include more interactive elements and fun facts. For seniors, I might walk slower and focus on historical details.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, what are the typical group sizes and tour durations here?